All I can do is laugh when these things happen. They're just so funny. Okay, there we go. We're ready. Oh, I don't think I need the cameras today anyway. Okay, just wait a minute for people to tune in. I got to finish tuning in. Uja, do it for tuning in. Okay. It's pretty hot. It's better than slurping. Uja, do it for tuning in. Good rising and great awakenings. Welcome to today's edition of Ancient African Adorations, where we are following the Natarian calendar of holy days, published by Temple of Amun, templeofamun.com. I have the calendar here that has the holy days. It has quotes from the scriptures. It has iconography. And according to this calendar, today is the day when we honor the festivity of men, February 20th. And I know I've been jumping around with the times. I've been trying to find the best time. And I do believe that this is the best time because people from the East Coast, West Coast, and Central can tune in. So I may keep them at 7:30. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. All right. So today, like I said, we are honoring the festivity of men. And I have musical offerings and wisdom teachings for you today. My name is Arit Netter AstMaataJi, also known as Tachia Ahmet. I've been a reggae artist for 25, 30 years now. I haven't been doing so much reggae the past 10 years. I've been focusing on my healing journey, and that took me to the wisdom teachings of Kemet and putting them to music. And so I've been doing this music for like the past 10 years. I studied with Dr. Ashby at Temple of Aset. And I'm looking to get back to the reggae here pretty soon now that COVID is winding down. I'll be able to do live performances again. But for this series, we're covering the wisdom teachings of ancient Kemet. And before I continue, let me state that these presentations reflect the views of the artist, the enchantress, and not those of Shetaut Netter, Temple of Aset. They represent the views of AstMaataJi Temple and the Light Being Wellness Center. So we're going to start with our opening chant. We have chants that we offer before reading from the Purdon Haru. Make sure I'm on the right internet. Yeah, okay. Teachings from the Uja. And so we're going to start with this one for Om Nebuchadnezzar Capital Asar Om. Nebuchadnezzar is the all-embracing divinity that pervades all, is all, the essence of all, and came forth in the form of Khepri, the creator of the gods and goddesses, the creator of creation. Khepri is the creator, Khepra Ra is the creator, and Tim is the end of the day. And so we have these offerings to Nebuchadnezzar and Khepra, and then also Asar. Nebuchadnezzar came forth in the form of a human as Asar, which represents the divine soul. So this chant is for those three divinities. Om Nebuchadnezzar Khepra Asar Om. 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 And now I'm going to have a heck out for Asar because today the featured netter is, something's crazy going on with this phone. This is Heru Min, or Amsu Min, and Heru is the son of Asar, so we're going to honor Asar right now. And I'm going to be reading some selections from this book, The Purdum Heru, and we're instructed to recite this Hekau before reading from the Purdum Heru. And here's the translation. Adorations to Asar, Unifer, divinity great, personality in the form, in the heart of Abdu, which is the city of Asar, King of eternity, Lord of forever, traveling for eternities. In the form raised he, son primary of body of Nut, engendered by Geb, Master Lord of the Ureret crown, exalted white crown, Prince of gods and goddesses and people. Let's see here. Thank you for the likes. It helps more people find out about the program. Oh, you're talking about my earrings. Yes, well, I lost one of each, so I just wear these until I'm able to get a matching set. I used to throw them away when I lost an earring, and now I just wear them. To Asar, Unifer, Natura, Herababdu, Sutin, Hey, Nebjeta, Sebebi, Hey, to Asar, Unifer, Natura, to Asar, Unifer, Natura, to Asar, Imha'ef, Sadeb, Inkat, Nut, Utet, Ingeb, Arpat, Neb, Yes, indeed. Asar is the divine soul, the universal soul, and lives within us, is us. And whenever we're reading about the adventures of Asar, we are also reading about the myth of our own life. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for your beautiful compliments. Okay. Now we're going to have a song for Heru. And Heru comes in many forms. And today we're just honoring one of his forms, but he has many forms. What is it? It comes in many forms to face the challenges of life. So whenever we're going through a challenge, there's a different form of Heru. There must be like 8 or 9 that I've heard of. I'm only really familiar with 3 or 4. Anyway, this Shetaut, say by Ma, Dr. Marta Ashby, they have this beautiful prayer devotional manual, and in the back he has lyrics to some of his songs. And when I first wrote this, when this melody that I'm about to offer came through, I had not heard his version. It's just the melody that came through for me. And so the translations is dua. Dua means adorations. That's when we put our hands in this posture, dua. Dua Heru, adorations to Heru. Sa Asar Aset, son of Asar and Aset. Aha Ma'at, who stands for righteousness and truth, who stands for Ma'at. Ubin Tawi, he is the light of the world. Nesta Tawi, he is King of Kings. And Sutin He, Lord of Eternity. And if you're wondering about these glasses, they're not sunglasses, they're pinhole glasses, and they force your eyes to focus rather than magnify what you look at. So it's like a workout for your eyes. The more you wear them, the better your vision. And I've been wearing them since 2003. And just recently I was able to thread the needle on the sewing machine and even the handheld needle, which I haven't been able to do. I haven't even tried it in 10 years. And my daughter wanted me to make her a dress. I just sat down and just thread the needle like nothing. So I'm putting a little shout out, and you can get them at my website, lightbeingwellness.com/shop. Okay, so let's see. Check out. Dua Heru, Sasara said, Dua. Dua Heru, Ahmad, Dua. Dua Heru, Ubin Tawi, Dua. Dua Heru, Nesta Tawi, Dua. Dua Heru, Sutin He, Dua. Dua Heru, Sasara said, Dua. Dua Heru, Ahmad, Dua. Dua Heru, Ubin Tawi, Dua. Dua Heru, Nesta Tawi, Dua. Dua Heru, Sutin He, Dua. 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 right. And I just decided, I'm going to do another Hekau for Anpu. Anpu is the brother of Heru. And Anpu is the opener of the ways. He is the netter of discernment and can tell the difference between right and wrong. So whenever we're having an obstacle or we can't find our keys or we're trying to travel in Egypt and we can't find our passport, we just offer this chant and miraculously your passport will reappear. I know that from experience because that's what happened to us when we were on our trip. Say by Ma, Dr. Ashby could not find his passport. And it took 30 minutes. And I sat down and said, okay, let me just focus. I just offered the chant one time. Bam, passport just appeared. It was really weird. It's a good weird. It's not a bad weird. And some of these chants are already available to you on your music platform. Some of them in the process of recording. But you can find them on Spotify, YouTube. The ones on Bandcamp have not been professionally released, but they're just on Bandcamp. Oh, Anpu, opener of the ways. Oh, Anpu, open the ways. Remove obstacles in my success, in my spiritual practice. Oh, Anpu, open the ways. Oh, Anpu, open the ways. Lead souls through the narrow pathways to know the difference between real and unreal. Oh, Anpu, open the ways. Oh, Anpu, open the ways. Measuring between heaven and hell. Face black as night, golden as the day. Deeply washed by night is by day. Oh, Anpu, open the ways. Oh, Anpu, open the ways. May Anpu make my thighs firm so that I can stand upon them. Oh, Anpu, open the ways. Oh, Anpu, open the ways. I've washed myself in the waters where Anpu washed himself, where he was the officer of embalmer and bandager. Oh, Anpu, open the ways. Oh, Anpu, open the ways. My lips are the lips of Anpu. 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 A tap. Okay. I'm feeling called to offer a chant for Aset because none of this would happen without her. So I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get the lyrics and the translation. Okay. Yeah, I can't forget about Aset. All right. Make sure I have the lyrics. Thank you. I keep saying I'm going to get all this stuff organized week after week. And I'm still shuffling through papers. I don't know if it's in here. Okay. Well, I'm going to have to go get it because I can't do this without Aset. Okay, I found it. All right, so I'm going to read the translation first. Thank you for sticking around. I can see that the internet is buffering a lot. So anyway, this is the translation by Dr. Wanda Ashby. It's trilateral, where he has the hieroglyphs and he has the phonetic translation, or written out phonetically, then the literal translation, and then the transliteral. And so the reading is: these words are spoken by Goddess Aset. I come to you in a role as your protector. I blow from me to you the liberating and rejuvenating air from the north with fullness of consciousness, which cleanses your nose to the nostrils for your body. This air comes in the form of the god Temu, who is in the north, which is the spirit essence of Ra, the source and sustenance of all life, and the successful completion of the spiritual journey. I have collected the pieces of your throat for you so you can breathe and live. I pieced your throat back together and cleared obstructions to the air from Temu that conveys the vital life force. So now you have the capacity to experience unobstructed vitality. Now you do not have internal obstructions to existing as a conscious living being. I have given to you the capacity to exist in the form of a god, and in your presence I present to you your enemies which have fallen under your feet. So now you do not have external obstructions to existing in your divine form. By doing these things, I, the goddess of intuition of wisdom, the embodiment of wisdom, have caused for you, that's for you and you and you, to have a divine state in heaven over which you have power and dominion, and all the gods and goddesses behold you. So anytime you hear in these prayers how someone is offering protection or giving you strength, giving the deity strength, they're referring to you. That's why I do this work, as it's aligning us with these teachings and invoking these vibrations and actions of purity and healing within ourselves. So it's very important work. Dua for tuning in. Greenridge, Ali, and again, I apologize for the buffering. I'm not really sure what's going on with the Wi-Fi. Uh-oh. Here we go. AstMaataJi asked, are you miss okay? Don't knock enough food. If it can make you chew. And sure I okay. Hurting to move. Second I okay. Heighty up okay. Eddie in a NK in the chair. Give to you can care. Get to the cave. Say my ghetto. Came to say to my tattoo. One more time. AstMaataJi asked, are you insecure? Putting like enough food. If it can make you chew. And sure I okay. Virgin to move. Second I okay. Heighty up okay. Eddie in a NK in the chair. Give to you can care. Kids to the cave. Say my ghetto. Can you move it too? My tattoo. I love that little tune. It's beautiful. You just feel the goddess Aset wings embracing us. All right, now let's move into the teachings. I've got several references here, resources here. So let's just go through them. The first set of teachings is just from the internet about the festival of Min, and then the second set will be, wisdom teachings from the temple. So it's always good to start with Wikipedia. I know it gets a bad name, and I've had to not leave all the tabs open because it really messes up the buffering. So this is from Wikipedia. The Min Festival. The Min Festival was an ancient Kemetic ceremony that was held to celebrate the continued rule of a pharaoh. It dates back to pre-dynastic Kemet and was still popular during the 19th dynasty reign of Pharaoh Ramses II. The festival was connected with the worship of the king and was held in the last month of the summer. It was carried out by the king himself, followed by his wife, royal family, and the court. When the king entered the sanctuary of the deity Min, he brought offerings and burning incense. Then the standing god was carried out of the temple on a shield carried by 22 priests. In front of the statue of the god, there was also 2 small seated statues of the pharaoh. In front of the god Min, there was a large ceremonial procession that included dancers and priests. In front of them was a king with a white bull that was wearing a solar disk between its horns. Of course, that symbolized Asar. When the god arrived at the end of the procession, he was given sacrificial offerings from the pharaoh. At the end of the festival, the pharaoh was given a bundle of cereal that symbolized fertility. And we're going to learn more about the offerings to the god Min, because it's very interesting. So the cereal represents Asar, and then we're going to learn about Min's offering in a minute. If you have any questions, just type them in. I really appreciate you being here. Okay, dokie. What's this one? So this article is from worldhistory.org, and they're going over, all the festivals. And I thought there was one for Min, but I don't. There it is. Min Festival. Min, the god of fertility, virility, and reproduction from pre-dynastic period, 600 to 800, 6,000 to 3,150 BC onwards. He is usually represented as a man standing with an erect penis holding a flail. The Min Festival was probably celebrated in some form starting in early dynastic period, but best attested to in the New Kingdom and afterwards. As at the Opet Festival, the statue of Min was carried out, same thing, dancers, singers, the king would stand, connection between the gods, the land and the people, etc., the sheaf of grain. The festival honored the king as well as the god in hopes of a continued prosperous reign, which would bring fertility to the land and the people. And then let's go. I've got a bunch of them here. Let's go straight to the most interesting one. When lettuce was a sacred sex symbol, from the Smithsonian mag.com. So the Smithsonian Festival just comes right out and says that lettuce was a sacred sex symbol. For nearly 3,000 years, lettuce was associated with the Egyptian god of fertility, Min, for its resemblance to the phallus. They're talking about romaine lettuce. And if you saw the announcement all the way over to the side, tried to hide it because I didn't want to get a violation. But you can see the erect phallus of Heru Min. I guess I could try to share these on YouTube. No, I'm reading, so I won't stay. Okay. And the most famous image is where the king is standing before men with offering him the eye of Heru. And another image is he's shown offering lettuce. Lettuce has been harvested for millennia. It was depicted by ancient Egyptians on the walls of tombs dating back to at least 2700 BC. The earliest version of the greens resembled two modern lettuces, romaine from the French word romaine from Rome, and Kos lettuce, believed to have been found on the island of Kos, located along the coast of Turkey. But in ancient Kemet around 2000 BC, lettuce was not a popular appetizer, it was an aphrodisiac, a phallic symbol that represented the celebrated food of the Egyptian god of fertility, Men. The god, often pictured with an erect penis in wall paintings and reliefs, was also known as the Great of Love, as he is called in a text from Edfu Temple. The plant was believed to help the god perform the sexual act untiringly. Of course, this is what the Egyptologists say. This is not what we believe, but I'm not saying it's not um, um, for virility and fertility and the sexual act untiringly. However, at the temple, we know that there's 3 levels to every myth. There's this version of the myth, then there's the ritual, and then there's the metaphysical or the mystical experience. So this is what is left to the masses about the culture, and we know more about it, and that's what we'll get into in the second half of the teachings. Salima Ikram, professor of Egyptology at the American University in Cairo, who specializes in ancient Egyptian food, explains Men's part in lettuce history. Over 3,000 years, the role did change, but he was constantly associated with lettuce. The first of these depictions appeared around 1970 BC in the White Chapel of Senusret I, though there may be earlier examples. Of course, there's earlier examples. Why? How else would they have them in 1970 BC? The way these Egyptologists talk about this culture, let me have some more tea because it's just disturbing. There may have been earlier examples. Like the reason the White Chapel of Senusret I is there is because there was another temple there that's like 100,000 years old and fell apart, so they built another one. These people. Okay, here's another one that shows Men's Harvest Festival. At the center of the statue is a statue of men. Behind him, a procession of priests, priestesses, holding up a small garden of lettuce. One of the reasons why associated the lettuce with men was because it grows straight and tall, an obvious phallic symbol. But listen to this. If you broke off a leaf, it oozed a sort of whitish, milky substance. Basically, it looked like semen. Okay. When the butt of modern romaine lettuce is cut off, a similar substance oozes from the plant and gives it a bitter flavor. Lettuce's scientific classification, Lactura sativa, is derived from the Latin word for milk and shares the same root as lactose, the sugar enzyme found in dairy products. No, the sugar found in dairy products. Okay, so they're just talking about lettuce. Okay, ancient Egyptians used lettuce differently than those who would come later. The leaves had a greenish blue color and were often removed from the plant due to their bitter taste. Instead of being part of a meal, the seeds from the bud of the flowers were harvested and pressed for their natural oils, which were used for cooking, medication, even mummification. Lettuce oil was a standard in the Egyptian materia medica and even today is used as a traditional remedy for hair regrowth. Okay, so there's a lot more information here, but I'm not going to read all of it. Okay, and let's pick one or two more. of these references, and then we'll get back to some music. Yeah, the thing about men is some Egyptologists just translate the most vulgar version of the myths, like saying that they're homosexuals, that they're masturbating. You know, when we talk about Nebuchadnezzar brought himself into existence by swallowing his own semen, we have to realize that the ancestors were trying to find a way to express these principles in a way that we can relate. It's not, you know, and Dr. Ashby says we shouldn't try to take it so literally and forget the whole spiritual meaning behind the myth. Okay, let's try one more and then we'll go. Okay, Lettuce and the Kings, the power and struggle between Heru and Set. Okay, yeah, this one deals a little bit more with the actual myth. And this is from sites.isa.umich.edu. So it's a University of Michigan website. Lettuce and Kings, a power struggle between Heru and Set. And so we're going to read from the myth a little bit later. It's definitely about the battle between our royal personality, our spiritual aspirations, and our egoism or Set. And so here we go. So this is our article on, I guess this is a blog series about food. And so they're talking about the lettuce. For this post, I will be discussing the royal intrigue between the two gods, Heru and Set. As you may or may not know, Heru is one of the most important gods of the entire Egyptian pantheon. Known as the god of the sky and war and hunting, to us, Heru is the spiritual aspiration, it's spiritual victory, it's redemption of the soul, it's the journey of enlightenment. And when we talk about the war and hunting, we're hunting our ego. We're hunting out our fetters of Set. When they pop up, we're pulling them out by the root. We're cutting them down. But the Egyptologists don't deal with that side of it. Okay. All right, let's get to... According to the papyrus Chester Beatty, the conflict between Heru and Set happened to be a series of bouts. Okay, backdrop. The battle between Heru and Set came about because Set, who was Asar's brother, killed him or had him killed, and he killed him and took over the throne of Egypt, of Kemet. And when Heru was older, he fought Set for the throne. But it symbolizes the battle within us between our lower and higher nature. So when we hear in the myth, even the Egyptologists, we have to keep that in mind. Okay, a series of bouts, such as when they transformed into hippopotamuses and submerged themselves into the water to see who could last the longest, to Set removing Heru's eyeballs as he slept. And it says, don't worry, Heru was able to regain his eyes with the help of a mistress, his counterpart, his female counterpart, named Heteru. But the story takes an erotic turn soon afterwards. So this is their version of the myth. Now afterwards, at evening time, a bed was prepared for them, and they both laid. They're talking about Heru and Set, because Set invited, after they kind of had a peaceful moment, Set invited Heru to spend the night with them so they could talk some more about it. And that's his uncle, right? So he's like, okay. So, but during the night, Set caused his phallus to become stiff and inserted it between Heru's thighs. Then Heru placed his hands between his thighs and received Set's semen. Heru went to tell his mother, Aset, help me, Aset, help me, my mother. Come and see what Set has done to me. And he opened his hands and let her see Set's semen. She let out a loud shriek, seized the copper knife, cut off his hands that were equivalent, because he had touched the semen, Then she fetched some fragrant ointment and applied it to Heru's phallus. She caused it to become stiff and inserted it into a pot, and he caused his semen to flow down into it. And then they go, whoa, wait a second. I warned you the story would get real really quickly. In this scene, we can extrapolate that virility is synonymous with dominance. Set tries to insert himself into Heru's thighs, similar to how a man would ease into a woman, etc., 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 etc. The only way to remedy the situation is for part of his essence, his liquescent power, to come out as well. Isis at morning time went about carrying the semen of Heru to the garden of Set and said to Set's gardener, "What sort of vegetable is it that Set eats here in your company?" So the gardener told her, "He doesn't eat any vegetable here in my company except lettuce." And Set added the semen of Heru onto it. Set returned according to his daily habit and ate the lettuce, which he regularly ate. Thereupon he became pregnant with the semen of Heru. Okay, so this just gives you insight into, the deal with the lettuce. And next I'm going to have a little bit more music, and then we'll read the actual scripture from the resurrection. Because they have it here, but they don't deal with the spirituality. Okay, let me see if there's anything else before I go back. Let's see what this one is. And eventually, like I said, I will have a blog post. Oh, here, JustStore.blog post with these links and everything. I just haven't made time for it yet. But I will someday. And I'm also planning to publish a songbook with all the lyrics to all these songs. Okay, no, I'm not going to do that one because this is an entire book about the procession of men. So that one we'll save for another day. Okay, let's see, one more. Here we go. Ancient Egypt Online. Let's see what they have to say. Okay, so this is about men. And is anything different than what I already read? I think it's pretty much the same. Well, this is interesting. They just throw it in there. And it's so interesting because whenever we say this, Egyptologists or North African Arabs, they go bizarre. They go nuts. The first line of this paragraph is from ancientegyptonline.co.uk. Men's skin is black, linking him to fertile black soil. How many times have we said that? The name Kemet means black fertile soil, and the people were named Kemet or Kim because of the black fertile soil. It doesn't mean that only people in Kemet had black skin. It meant we were named after the black soil. And whenever I try to explain this to them, they just get furious. There's references to where Asar is the black god, Aset is the black goddess, because they were born from Nut, the black midnight sky. Like, what's wrong with that? It wasn't until recently that black became like a negative connotation or racism and the four races. No, we were named after the black sky and the black soil. We're black people. That's Kemet. The name Kemet is black, the land of the black. Anyway, men's skin is black, linking him to fertile black soil. Occasionally he wears a red ribbon, which may represent sexual power. When he takes the form of Amsu men or Amun men, he sometimes wears a sun disk between the two feathers on his headdress. And both Akhmin and Koptos is the Greek form of Kemetic culture, but it's Christianized. He was worshipped in the form of a white bull representing virility, known as the bull of the great phallus. And in Heliopolis, he was associated with the Menebus bull cult. When he is represented as the constellation Orion, he can be distinguished from Osiris because the three bright stars of Orion's belt are made to represent his erect penis. So I've heard the three stars represent the penis or also a dagger. But anyway, because of his rather noticeable genitalia, images of men were subject to a great deal of damage at the hands of more prudish Christians, immigrants. And during the Victorian period, Egyptologists regularly omitted the lower part of his body in photographs and drawings, like they cut off the big, large black nose, they cut off the large black penis. In the final insult to the god, 19th century scholars mistranslated his name as Kim, or Kim meaning black in Egyptian. This was in fact one of his epithets, which related to his fertility aspect because black was associated with the fertile soil of the Nile. This black soil was so central to the Egyptian way of life that the word also became a common term for the land of Kemet itself. Wow, there it is. That's a very good paragraph. I'm going to use that in my little clip when I have the summary. Was it ancientegyptonline.co.uk? Maybe since it's from the UK, the North African Arabs and Egyptologists will not hate me so much. Okay, well, who cares if they hate me? I'm just speaking the truth. All right, so now let's have a little bit of music, and then we'll go to the sacred teachings. So I don't have, what was this about? Got 12 minutes left. So here for you on melanated people, there's 12 minutes left. So I'm going to do one more song, and then I'm going to start a new live stream. Okay. So I was going to save this for after I did some more readings, but I'm ready to do some music now. So this is just a Hekau. It's not one that's anywhere other than right here for Heteru and Heru Min. Heru, they're partners, they're lovers. And Heteru means the house of Heru, and Heru Min is the form of Heru that represents fertility, virility, and our sexuality. And Heteru is also the goddess associated with sensuality and sexuality. And this harp is from the outside of the temple of Heru at Edfu. It's very peculiar tuning. It's never the same. Dua Heteru, Dua Heru Min, 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 Nupu Heteru, Nupu Heru Min, Nupu Heteru, Nupu Heru Min, Nupu Heteru. Naku Arumi Naku Hataru Naku Arumi Naku Hataru Naku Arumi Dua Hataru Dua Arumi Dua Hataru Dua Arumi Naku Hataru Naku Arumi Naku Hataru Naku Arumi Dua Hataru Dua Arumi Naku Hataru Naku Arumi Dua Harumin. And that'll take us into the next session of our program. I'm going to start a new live session here on Melanated People. So I hope you tune back in. Doesn't want to end. There we go. They're only an hour on this app, so. There we go. Any day now. Okay. Uh-oh. Just 1 minute. It's moving really slow today. Let's see what's going on YouTube. Ernest, Dua. Yes. Okay, yes, I will have the replay up very soon. Well, once it's over. Okay. Post your live video. Something went wrong on the server. Okay. It's not going to let me post it on the server. Okay. I understand. I'll just post the thing later. Looks like you all left. Okay, well, we'll try it again. Sorry. Nope, it's stuck there. Okay, well, they won't get the second half. Okay. All right, well, let's get on with our program. Now we get to the juicy part of the teachings. Oh, man. We may go over the hour and a half. We'll see. Okay. I really appreciate you being here. I hope you're enjoying this as much as I am. Uja. Somebody, thank you for sharing the live. Thank you for the love and the hearts. It all means a lot. So we're here at the Perda which is a collection of writings and spells and wisdom to be recited at the time of someone's illness, time of their death, at their memorial, their funeral, and then also in our daily lives, we're instructed to recite from the Perda because spiritually speaking, we're dead right now, and we need these teachings to help wake us up because we're in bed. What is the word? We are enmeshed in this illusion. We're covered by the veil of the illusion, and once we're able to remove the veil, we wake up, and then we read from these books to help us stay awake. Let me try one more time. You are just not happy today. Okay, well, that's too bad. And then I do about it. Okay. All right. So we're going to go to page 71. They say that this is the Kemetic Bible. They say that when you're going through a difficult time, this is what the preceptors say. You have your tissue in one hand for your tears and your Perda in the other. All right. So this is about the Battle of Heru and Set, which we read a little bit about it, the summary. Let's see if there's anything here that wasn't mentioned, because we are going to go straight to the scripture. Okay, this isn't mentioned. Oh yeah. Okay. So the uncontrolled set also symbolize unrestricted sexual activity. Therefore, all sexual desires should be pursued in accordance with moral and intellectual principles, which dictates rules of propriety that lead to health and personal, societal, and spiritual order, ma'at. Juxtaposed against this aspect of set, uncontrolled sexual potency and desire, is Heru in the form of the ethphalic, erect phallus min, who represents not only control of sexual desire, but its sublimation as well. Min symbolizes the power which comes from the sublimation of the sexual energy. All right, and then we have page 93. I really feel badly for the people that were on this live stream. They won't even let me start. I guess I have to do this. Let's try this. Nope. Okay, not happening. Okay, and here we have an illustration of the Imsu Min with the phallics. This is from the Book of the Dead, chapter 4. The initiate identifies with Amsu Min and says, oh, I'm just going to sing this passage. I am Amsu in his movement, this is true. He has given to me his plumes, and they are on my head now. Who is this person that is being spoken about? As for Amsu, it is Heru, the redeemer of his father. As for his movement, it is his birth. As for his plumes on his head, they are the actions of AstMaataJi. That is our sense and evidence. They give of themselves to his person. They will be his protectors. Min is the aspect of Amun, manifesting as Heru, in the form of the victorious savior, vindicator of his father's Asar's honor. Heteru is his companion and female aspect, whose passion and restorative influence provides healing and strength to allow Heru to continue the struggle against Set. Both of them represent the idea of arousal, of aroused and sublimated sexual energy. In this capacity, Amun, is known as the bull of his mother. In other words, generator of his own coming into being. In other Kemetic texts, it is explained that the two plumes on the head of men are Aset and Nebuchadnezzar. The passage above also shows that Aset and Nebuchadnezzar are the forces of life and death, which manifest the power of Amsu Heru. The state of Heru Min consciousness, when Heru is victorious, is the goal of all spiritual efforts. It is the ultimate objective of all spiritual religious traditions. It means being triumphant over ignorance in the form of egoism and the fetters of Set: anger, hatred, greed, lust, selfishness, desire, elation, depression, and conceit, etc. At this stage, there is no possibility for the lower nature to sway the mind of a person. Now the lower self is like a slave to the higher self. The freedom from the fetters allows the mind to experience boundless Sekim, the life force energy power, goddess Heteru, and to be at peace, Hetep. This peace and harmony allows the mind to see beyond the veil of ordinary human consciousness, in effect, to behold the divine self, Asar. Oh, that's just beautiful. So we have the opportunity to experience that in our lives. All righty. Page 150. What I just read? No, there's something else. Okay, yeah, I'm not going to read this one today. Okay. And next we have African Religions, Volume 5. What do I have going on here? Oh, man, I have a lot. I must have thought I'd have 3 hours. Volume 5. Wait. Volume 2. I don't know. Page 57. Right, and then we got the same image of Amsu Min. I guess we already read this. Yeah. And page 144. I think we'll just go straight to the scriptures. This is later. Okay. So now we're going to go to Asarian resurrection, the myth of the Asarian resurrection. There's so much information. Okay, page 60. Oh, that's the wrong book. Page 60. Okay, yeah, we already read this. Yeah, they have the same description in several of the books. So I guess we'll just go to the scripture. The evil of Set, page 132. All right, so this is the scripture from the Assyrian Resurrection, the evil of Set, from the Chester Beatty Papyrus. Verse 164. Haru has now assumed the attributes of Amsumin, or he who is the redeemer of his father. When Haru, fully healed, now returned to the Aeneid, the two contendants went before the court of the Aeneid again, and Ra bade them both to end the quarreling and make peace. Set said to Haru, "Come, let us spend a happy hour at my place." Happy hour. Haru answered, "Yes, with pleasure, with pleasure." When it was evening, the bed was spread for them, and they lay down. During the night, Set made his members stiff, and he made it go between the loins of Haru. Haru put his hands between his loins and caught the seed of Set. Haru returned to his mother, who had forgiven him for his act of uncontrolled passion due to frustration. Haru asked his mother, Aset, "Come here, O Aset, my mother. Come and see," because earlier Haru cut off his mother's head. "Come and see what Set has done." And he opened his hand and showed her the seed of Set. She cried out, seized her knife, and cut off his hand, threw it into the water. But she took out another similar hand for him and replaced the one which had been cut off. Then she took a dab of sweet ointment and applied it to the member of Haru. She let it go stiff, having placed it in a jar, and she made his seed run into it. In the morning, she took the seed of Haru to Set's garden. She said to his gardener, "Which herb is it that Set usually eats here with you?" The gardener replied, "He does not eat any herb here except lettuce." So Set laid the seed of Haru on the lettuces. Set came as he used to do every day, and he ate the lettuces as usual. He became pregnant with the seed of Haru. He went and said to Haru, "Come, let us go so that I can contend with you in the tribunal." Haru said, "I will do so. Indeed, I will do so." Then they both went to the tribunal and stood before the great Aeneid. They were told, "Speak concerning yourselves." Set said, "Let me be given the office of ruler, for as to Haru, the same that stands here, I have performed an aggressive act on him." The Aeneid cried out aloud, and they belched and spat in the face of Haru. But Haru laughed at them and swore and said, "All that Set has said is false. Let the seed of Set be summoned, that we may see from where it will answer." And then they've got images of Aset and Set and the lettuce. I wish I could show you that. Well, I guess I can show the symbol of the lettuce. Okay. So we have Aset and Set. And here's the symbol for the lettuce. And does look like a phallic symbol. Let's see if I can. I don't know if you can see that TikTok. Let's see. I guess I don't know how to do that. Okay. I'll put it in the replay. Verse 170. Then Jehuti, Lord of divine words, the scribe of truth of the Aeneid, placed his hand on the arm of Haru and said, "Come out, you seed of Set." And it answered him from the water in the waters. Because remember, I threw it in the water. Then Jehuti placed his hand on the arms of Set, and he said, "Come out, you seed of Haru." And it said to him, "Where shall I come out?" Jehuti said, "Come out of his ear." And it said, I who am divine effluence, shall I come out of his ear?" Then Jehuti said, "Okay, come out of his forehead." And it came out as a golden disc on the head of Set. Set became extremely angry, and he reached out to lay hand on the golden disc. But Jehuti took it away from him, and he placed it as an ornament on his own head. Then he said, Hadu is on the right, and Hadu is in the right, and Set is in the wrong. Set swore an oath and said, he shall not be given the office until we have sorted it out outside. Okay. All right. So here is a hymn to men from the stele of Sobek Iri. Never before sung or offered in this way in modern times that I am aware of. And I've never even heard this before. I worship men, I extol a rising Heru. Hail to you, men in his processional, top plume, son of a son, born of divine I said. Great in Senu, mighty in Inpu. Great in Senu, mighty in Ipu. You have carved all Zeru, strong heart, Lord of all, who silences pride, sovereign of all the gods, fragrance laden, when he comes from Majale. Awe-inspiring in Nubia, you are who tell and pray. I worship men, I extol our raising Adu. Hail to you, men in his processional, top plume, son of a son, born of divine I said. Great in Senut, mighty in Ipu. Great in Senut, mighty in Ipu. You have captors, Heru strong heart, Lord of all, who silences pride, sovereign of all the gods, fragrance laden when he comes from Majalen, inspiring in Nubia, you have who tell and pray, you have who tell and pray, you have who tell and pray. Never. A hymn to men from the stele of Sobek Iri. Oh my goodness, I don't know if they pronounce it Iri, but I do. That's funny. I wonder if Sobek is related to Sobek. Sobek is S-O-B-K. So there's a vowel in there. Sobek. Sobek Iri. I'm going to call it Sobek Iri. Iri. I'm going to let you in on a little secret that I have. Because, I came from reggae, from Rastafari, from Black Hebrew Israelites, and then just kept ascending. And so now when I listen to reggae or to, Rastas, when I hear them say Jah, Rastafari, I hear NaataJi, Rastafari, because Rastao is the path to the netherworld. There's there's a path and a doorway to the netherworld, and Rastao represents that path and that doorway. And for me, Rastafari was the doorway to my awakening, because I was totally in the dark until I heard reggae. And then Rastafari, burning spear and culture, they said to know your roots, know your ancestors. So that's how I ended up where I am. So I always, pay my respects to that culture, even though there's aspects of it that I no longer resonate with. It's still a huge part of my journey. So that's my little secret. Okay, so, of course, I have lots more. Well, I guess not that much more. We're doing great. Yeah, we're doing really good. I'm just going to go over past 9 o'clock. Too bad I couldn't get back on here. Something went wrong on the server. Okay. All right. Let's go to page 135. Oh, that's the very next page. There's more illustrations of Heru Min, Amsu Min. And here's a description of the our icon of these statues and iconography. Above Amsu Min or Menu, the isophalic erect penis form of Heru, Amun, hidden supreme being, is the source of the sexual energy which causes arousal and generation of life. This same sexual energy, when sublimated, is the power that Heru uses in the form of Amsu Min to overthrow the fetters of Set. So let's take that in. So the energy that causes our arousal and our passion, our generation of life, is Amun. Never thought about it like that. And then when we can sublimate that energy, then we use that to overthrow the fetters of Set. So there's a very important use for this energy that's not really talked about. It's usually very negative. So I'm going to remember this. I read this earlier, but it didn't hit me like it's hitting me right now. Okay. I think that window opened up. Page 139. $168, $169. Ooh. Oh, sorry. A huge icicle that was hanging on the gutter just fell. I didn't know what it was. All right, here we go. Min, self-control, self-sublimation. And this is also from African Religion, Volumes 4, The Asari Resurrection. I might have already read this, but I'm going to, the initiate identifies with Amsu Min and says, I am the god Amsu Min and is coming forth. May his two plumes be set upon my head for me. In answer to the question, who then is this? The text goes on to say, this is what I offered earlier. Amsu is the Heru, the avenger of his father, and his coming forth is his birth. The plumes upon his head are a Set and Nebuchadnezzar, etc., etc. Min is the aspect of Heru in the form of victorious savior, vindicator, etc., etc. We read this already from another. Okay. We did this already. All right, cool. Let's go to the gloss. Oh, wait, there's a Hekau on page 174. I think I offered that already. I offered that already. And then the gloss, page 200 to page 211. No. Oh my gosh. No, page 200, page 211. Okay. So much information. Page 200. No, that's not relevant. 211. That must be it. Okay. All right, here we go. Okay, yeah, so this is the one where I was going to do this song for men and Heteru, but I got excited and did it earlier. So here we go. Men is the aspect of Heru in the form of the victorious savior of his father's honor. Heteru is his companion and female aspect whose passion and restorative influence provides healing and strength to allow Heru to continue the struggle against Set. Both of them represent the idea of aroused and sublimated sexual energy. So yeah, I think I did read that earlier. But at one point in Heru's battle, when he's blinded by Set, Jehuti restores one of his eyes and Heteru restores the other eye. And we're almost done with this book. We're done with that book. Okay. Oh, the gloss, page 244. That's what I'm looking for, the gloss. 244. This is quite a bit. So I will just include this in the blog post. Okay, but I can read this part here. When a person lives in a constant state of agitation due to desires, they have no control over their life. Their desires lead them to commit certain acts which they have come to believe will lead them to some satisfaction and contentment, but this contentment never comes. So what I'm gaining is if we just remember that all of our feelings, emotions, longings, cravings, etc., come from Amun and turn towards Amun, we're supposed to offer them to Amun rather than trying to fulfill them through Set. This is because egoistic desires to satisfy one's own cravings, longings, and sensual pleasures has no end. As soon as one desire is fulfilled, another arises. Nothing you can do in the world of time and space will be sufficient to satisfy your worldly desires. The only true fulfillment comes when there is control of the lower self by the higher. This implies control of the desires, emotions, and feelings through the understanding that they are empty and cannot provide real and abiding satisfaction or peace. The insight into the true nature of desires comes about through the discovery of the self within, the Amun consciousness. This is also symbolized by the name Amsu, which relates Horus to Amun, or the hidden supreme self. This same reference to Haru as being Amun is also found in line 47. Fascinating. Oh my goodness, there's so much information, but I'm going to move on. Okay, yeah, I sang that song. So we're going to go to the Temple of Life. I don't know, guys. There's just so much information. Oh, okay. I got two more things. Sorry. All right, so this next reading is from The Tree of Life by Dr. AstMaataJi, and it's a passage from Sacred Sexuality. What is it? Sacred Sexuality, Egyptian Tantra Yoga, page 142. This is from The Tree of Life by Dr. AstMaataJi. Okay. Okay. There is a form of Heru called Heru. There's a form of Heru. So this page talks about the different forms of Heru. So we're just going to deal with Heru Min. There's a form of Heru called Heru Murti, Heru of the two eyes being open, which is also an aspect of Min or Amsu Min. And this ties Haru into the Theban theurgy of Waset again. Of course, you know that Min represents the fullness of sexual power, male and female sexual power. So Haru has harnessed the power of sexual energy and employed it to the project of attaining self-mastery, the redemption of Asar within you. And that's not the part I was trying to read. Well, anyway, that's good for now. I'll get this a lot more organized eventually. 142, 143. Is anything else? 143. Of course, now the cursor is acting up. Okay, well, that's all for that. All right, now we're getting to the closing. Temple of Amun-Ra, Volume 5, Persian Trilineal Translations by Dr. Marta Ashby. On page 133, we get to the portion of the temple. This is the one in Aswan, Abu Simbel, of Amsumin. 133. Not too far. Okay, so this is Hypostyle Hall number 1, the northeast wall. See it? Where the royal personality is making an offering of lettuce to the deities. Oh, it wouldn't let me share my screen. Huh. Well, thanks for letting me know. Okay. Adoration and offering by the royal person to the second form of the divine Trinity. So if you recall, the royal personality in these scriptures or scriptures and hieroglyphs, temples, symbolizes ourselves on the journey to enlightenment. So when you see a king or a pharaoh or a queen making offerings, you picture yourself in that position. You're making offerings. So here we see the god, we see the royal personality, Ramses, making offerings to Amun, and standing with Amun is Mut and Amsumin. And so in this hallway, instead of Asar, Aset, and Haru, we have Amun, Mut, and Amsumin. Anyway, I'm almost out of time. I'm not going to read the translations very much. I mean, the gloss, the description, but I will read the translation of the chant I'm going to offer. The royal person, Ramses, is the sovereign over the two lands of Upper and Lower Kemet. That means we're united, our mind and our hearts, our upper nature and our lower nature. The totality of above and below. He goes by the name one who exercises dominion, backed by the righteousness of the Creator Spirit, and who is chosen by that same Creator Spirit. This is the second royal name of the royal person, one who is the child who came from the body of Ra, the Creator Spirit, and who is beloved by Amun, the hidden witnessing spirit self. These words are spoken by the god Amsumin, known as the hidden creator spirit with an erect penis, who is the one that brought himself into existence. That divinity, Amsu, is the innermost essence of the temple of the royal person, known by the name one who is the child who came from the body of Ra, the creator spirit, and who is beloved by Amun, the hidden witnessing spirit. He is a life giver. Amsu says, I give to you all spiritual valor. Also, I give to you all spiritual strength. Okay, so that is why I'm offering this chant so that we're making our lettuce offerings to Amun, and we are being, it's a mutual beneficial ritual. So we're making our offerings to Amun, and Amun grants us spiritual valor and spiritual strength. So we're going to close out with this original Shetaut. Never been offered in modern times that I'm aware of. Yeah. Okay. Since this is the Hedu harp, just call it the Hedu harp. Oh. Okay. So I read the translation, and I'll read it again when I'm done. So this is going to be like a meditation for me, because I'm really, I feel very good about my spiritual valor. Like, I have courage to go into this battle, and I need to raise up my spiritual strength and continue to identify with the royal personality when I'm making these offerings. Because when I do my Sheti Haset Makaru, it cleanses my Aryu. And that's why I'm making these musical offerings. And I'm also making them for your journey or your behalf, on your behalf. Neptawi User Madra Tepin Ra Nepkau Amun Mary Ramesu Medu J and Amsu Amun Ra Kamute Hera Papir Amun Mary Ramesu Dion Dien in case Ednin. Hold on a minute. Something's not right with that. Page 133. Yeah, sometimes it does that autocorrect, and I don't always catch it. J-N. There's a D-N-N-K. Yeah, they autocorrected it. It's like, wait a minute. There's a word missing. D-N-N-K, Kent Neb, D neck neb. There we go. There we go. Okay, I'm going to start over. Oh, wait. The word didn't look right. I know autocorrect is trying to help me, but sometimes it messes me up. Okay. User Mat Ra Setep. Okay. Setep. They left out the E. Setep. Okay. All right, let's start that one again. Rewind. Neptawi Usermat Ra Satepin Ra Nepkaha Amun Mary Ramesu Medu Jayan Amsu Amun Ra Kamude Hera Pape Amun Mary Ramesu Dian Kaketne Dinekne Medu Jayan Amun Mary Ramesu Neptawi Usermat Ra Satepin Ra Nepkaha Amun Mary Ramesu Medu Jayan Amsu Amun Ra Kamute Hera Pape Amun Mary Ramesu Dian Kaketne Dinekne Medu Jayan Amun Mary Ramesu Mary Ramesu Mary Ramesu. A tap. Yes, these transmissions are really songwriting sessions for me, as well as offerings of music and wisdom teachings, because the last segment of the program involves getting scriptures like this and just improvising. That's like they call it improv and jazz. Okay, someone here is accusing me of appropriating Egyptian culture and history. Okay. Well, that's a very interesting statement, considering that the only reason the word Egypt exists is because the Greeks went into Kemet, invaded, conquered. After hundreds of thousands of years, they were able to invade and conquer because the traditions had started to, wind down. And so at that point, the Greeks went in and took control of the nation and eventually shut down all the temples, and then renamed all the deities, built temples over the temples that were already in existence, and changed the history. And to this day, there's people there whitewashing the artwork, the iconography, changing it from black to white. So I don't see how you can come anywhere and accuse me of appropriating the spiritual legacy for humanity. It's not just for any one people. This is the legacy of humanity to restore enlightenment. And the people that live there now are only using the culture for monetary gain. Your entire nation is based off of a stolen legacy, appropriating culture, spiritually and mentally enslaving the descendants that still live there. And I know for a fact that my ancestral lineage runs to Kemet. I even know that my physical, biological lineage is connected to Kemet. And there's no way that you can tell me otherwise, because who feels it knows it. And the only people that are complaining about this are the people who don't feel it. And so you have no say. So you can go ahead and say all you want. It doesn't mean anything to me, because I know what's true. I know it's true for me, and I know what is true. And people who are ignorant of the spirituality of the culture that they live in. When I've been to Kemet, the Arab guards are in there urinating on this artwork, urinating on things that are hundreds of thousands of years old. And they're in there smoking their cigarettes, which contributes to the deterioration of the artwork. The temples are actually like computers, and only people who are aware know how to access the software. You control the hardware, but you are ignorant of the software. So I'm going to close out with the translation of the piece that was just offered. Let's see, it's 133. Okay. Again, this is from volume 5 of the Egyptian Book of the Dead, Hieroglyph Translations by Dr. AstMaataJi, the Temple of Amun-Ra and Anbu symbol. So again, we are the royal personality, and this is bestowing blessings and protection on us, and spiritual strength and spiritual valor. Here's again, this is the iconography. So when you eat your salad next time, you know that you are contributing to your spiritual valor, your spiritual strength, your enlightenment. You're increasing your vibration. You're making an offering to Amsumin, to Amun. And it's also going to help with your sexuality, your tantric sacred sexuality. And it'll help you defeat fetters of Set, like this individual that's accusing me of appropriating culture from my ancestors, that our ancestors left for all of humanity, not just for the people who stole it. So here's the translation. The royal person Ramses, that would be you, those who are aware, not those who are ignorant. People who are aware, people who are ignorant cannot call themselves royal personalities. They can't even call themselves royalty. Like most of the people that sit on thrones, they're not really royal because they're ignorant of their divinity. And if they were aware of their divinity, they wouldn't treat their subjects the way that they do. So I wouldn't even call them royal personalities. The royal person is sovereign over the two lands of Upper and Lower Kemet, and that means our higher and lower nature. The totality of above and below, he who goes by the name, one who exercises dominion, backed by the righteousness of the Creator Spirit, and who was chosen by that same Spirit. This is the second royal name of the royal person, one who is the child who came from the body of Ra, the Creator Spirit, and who was beloved by Amun, the hidden witnessing Spirit self. These words are spoken by the god Amsu Min, known as the hidden Creator Spirit with an erect penis, who is the one that brought himself into existence. That refers to us because we're manifesting our creation. We're manifesting our life of enlightenment. That divinity, Amsu, is the innermost essence of the temple of the royal person, known by the name, one who is the child who came from the body of Ra, the Creator Spirit, and who is beloved by Amun, the hidden witnessing Spirit self. He is a life giver. Amsu says, I give to you all spiritual valor. I give to you all spiritual strength. Dua Amsu Min, Dua Hetep. Okay, so I'm going to close out again with another offering for Hetadu and Hedu Min. Do a head tattoo. Do a head to me. Do a head tattoo. Do a head to me. Do a head tattoo. Do a arms to me. Do a head tattoo. Do a arms to me. Look poo head tattoo. Look poo head to me. Look poo head tattoo. Look poo head to me. Look poo head tattoo. Look poo arms to me. Look poo head tattoo. Look poo arms to me. 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 Never. Awesome. Dua Darifsta for tuning in. I'm still trying to decide the best time for these transmissions. I don't think it's going to be the same all the time. I know. I think on the weekends, 5 or 6 a.m. is better. But then on the weekdays, 7:30 a.m. Central is better. And I'm not sure about the evenings anymore. So anyway, my name is Netter AstMaataJi, aka Tachir Ahmet. You've been here for Ancient African Adorations, honoring the festivity of men. During these transmissions, we cover the information available to the general public, like Wikipedia and other websites. And then we have wisdom teachings from the Temple of Shetaut, Temple of Aset, and AstMaataJi Temple. And we have musical offerings. Some are already known and recorded and shared and sung, and some are brand new, created in this very moment. That's the magical moment, the Kairos moments of these broadcasts. And here's the Temple of Amun calendar of the Nigerian holy days. The next one is scheduled for Saturday, February 26th. It'll be a day of Nut, and it's on the weekend, so it'll probably be early in the morning. I think the weekend ones will be early in the morning, and the weekday ones will be at 7:30. I'm not sure. I might put out a poll. If you'd like more information on the wisdom teachings of Temple of Aset, Temple of Shetaut, visit EgyptianYoga.com, where you can sign up for classes at Kemet University and study with Dr. Nwada Ashby, Dr. Karen Ashby, Seba AstMaataJi. If you'd like to order your own calendar, Temple of Amun calendar for the beginning. For the 2022 calendar year, or the Kemetic calendar year, what is it? 38,788. The Kemetic New Year is in the summer when Sirius rises again. So in July, it will be the year 38,789. For those of you who feel like the history of humanity is only 6,000 years old, like in the Torah, or for those of you in North African Arab cultures who feel like you own the culture because your ancestors uncovered it after it had been buried in sand for thousands of years. Yeah. And then we say 38,788. That is a what is it? A short estimate, because people who really study this know that it's closer to 200,000 years. But we just say 38,788. So y'all don't feel so bad. If you want to order the calendar, it's at templeofourmoon.com. And then I've told you, oh, it's way over there. I've also been trapped. If I can get out of here. This over. Yeah, this is a good one for that Egyptologist. This calendar is put out by the Earth Center. It's a serious sidereal calendar, and it follows the authentic Egyptian or Kemetic calendar system, where the months are 30 days long with 10-day strengths. I don't call them weeks, I call them strengths. So it's a 30-day calendar, and then with 12 months, and then the 13th month, it has the 5 days of Goddess Nut. And this calendar, this is from the Dogon people in Mali, and this is the year 421. It's been 421 years since they've had their, what is it, the last great heliacal rising. But they have that festival like every, I don't know how many years, 1,000 years, I don't know. It's been 421 years since the most recent new calendar cycle. So, I mean, I just, when people make comments like that, it just makes me laugh. They just have no idea. And I just try to have compassion for them because they're ignorant. They're Set. I just say, hey, Set, Uja. So, but if you'd like to learn more about this calendar, go to theearthcenter.org. If you'd like to know more about my music, visit tachia.com, where you can learn about my reggae music and the devotional music. If you want to know more about these pinhole glasses, or my sound healing, astrology, wellness coaching, open your money flow, the Tichia medicinal salves, visit lightbeingwellness.com/shop. If you're interested in the classes, I'm going to be starting to accept enrollment for Introduction to the Neteru. It'll be level 1 for the Kemetone sound healing training, and it'll also be level 1 for the it'll be a requirement for the Aku Seneb yoga posture system. It's not really a posture system, it's a meditative reflective movement experience. That's how I'm describing it. And just drop me a note if you're interested in that. If these presentations are helping you or you're enjoying them, you could leave a donation for the AstMaataJi Temple of Divine Light, Healing, and Sweet Sound at my Cash App, which is $AmetElMaat. It's in my link tree. I'll throw it up here. And the replay. Yep, if you want to make a donation to the Temple Works. And the Naturian calendar, both of these calendars also include the lunar calendar and the galactic calendar. The galactic calendar is the solstices and equinoxes. That's when the axes line up. And so for those events, the full moons, new moons, solstices, eclipse, equinoxes, retrogrades, I do presentations on the Kemetones Cosmic Sound Healing YouTube channel. That's where the replays are. You can access the replays. I do live streams here as well. Okay, so that's all the information I have for you. I hope to see you on February 26th. More than likely, it will be at 6 a.m. Central Time on February 26th. So that's all I have for you today. Dua for tuning in. Dua for being here. For those of you that are going to watch the replay, please leave your comments. Let me know how it's going. I know this program was 2 hours. I had a lot of information to share and music to offer. Okay, Dua Hatep. a tap.